welcome to this video. Thank you so much for clicking. I'm so excited to share my new updated keychain method. This video is going to be broken down into two parts. The first part is the how-to and the second part will be all the materials, explaining them, and everything will be linked in the description so you guys can buy it for yourselves if you're interested in starting. If you guys want to see me react to my old keychain video, I will link that down below where I go into a lot of depth of why I don't do the things that I did back then when I was first starting out, and so I hope that this video is a lot more helpful. It can answer a lot of your questions and especially update you on my new methods because I do things a lot differently now. Coming up, I'm going to do an organization video talking about how I organize my store because it's also very different from when I first started, but that's the best part about having a business and doing art is that you're always improving and finding new ways to do things better. I also have a Facebook group that I'm starting. I live streamed today and you guys had the awesome idea to do a Facebook group because I said I wanted to have some sort of community page where we can all help each other out with resin, so I will link that below as well. So yeah, very obvious disclaimer, but I am not a professional. I'm not a resin professional, so don't take all of my advice as the end-all be-all solution. Make sure you do your own research and find what's going to work best for you. This is just what I do and I'm just sharing my own methods, but totally okay if you have your own, and if you have any more tips and advice you can leave them down below. Don't forget to include anything, it will be in the description below. I hope you enjoy and thank you for watching. So first things first, you're going to want to work in an area that is a standard room temperature or warmer. And the first thing I do is tarp my floor using a plastic garbage bag. And these are great because resin doesn't stick to the garbage bags once it's cured. So you can just keep reusing them so that it's less wasteful. I tape the edges down just to keep it nice and flat while I'm working. Next, to get your mold ready, and I use Scotch tape to pick up any dust, dirt, excess resin, things like that that ends up in there. Once my mold is clean, I begin placing my flowers in the way that I want them, keeping in mind that the bottom of the mold is the front. For safety, please wear gloves. I was unable to get some before I filmed this because I live in a small town and pandemic life, but please wear gloves and a respirator if possible, or else work in a well-ventilated area because resin can cause reactions to skin, lungs, and other things, so please be safe. And here's how I reduce bubbles. I pour my resin and hardener into separate cups and then I place them in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I dry the cups because a drop of water will ruin your work. So I dry them really thoroughly. Next, this video is slowed down, but I mix the resin and hardener together super slow for 4 minutes without lifting the popsicle stick out. And I also take the heat gun occasionally to pop bubbles as I'm mixing. This helps a lot. And then bit by bit, you're going to put your resin into the molds, and I don't pour it in all at once because I find when you put it in little by little, it reduces the amount of bubbles and make sure that the flowers are just super coated. So I just repeat this process for every single letter. And it honestly doesn't take too much resin to fill up each one. I've been asked how many milliliters per letter and I'm not sure, but it's not a lot at all, which is awesome for profit. Then I sit with the letters for about an hour, and every now and then occasionally I just put the heat gun over it, pop any bubbles, make sure it's super clear and glass-like. After 24 hours, you can just pop your letters out of the mold like so, and this was an alcohol ink keychain that I was working on, available on my Etsy. I use this sandpaper brick to sand my resin, and I only sand the edges because I'm bad at getting scratches out. So I just sand the edges to make them nice and straight, like so. I drill a small hole, not too close to the edge that it'll break, but not too far that the jump ring can't get through it. I just kind of eyeball it. I like to go forward and reverse a couple times through the hole just to clean it out and reinforce it. And there we have it. Next, it's time for the jump ring. I personally like the 1 centimeter jump rings for keychains, but I usually just buy a pack of assorted sizes to use them for other projects that I do. So I just open that up and loop it through. I offer 2 types of keychains on the store now, so I just look at the order and see if they want the ring with clasp or the long keychain, and then I just put it on. And here's the difference between the 2 types of keychains that I offer. Hi, sorry, don't mind the mess in the background, but I just wanted to jump in here. This is Future Meg jumping in this video and just saying that I do not use eye pins anymore. I've had people leave comments saying that they drill first and then put the eye pin in, maybe use hot glue. I'm not sure. I've had some people also say that they do drill first, use the eye pins, and they still end up cracking. So I just stay away from eye pins altogether. I don't use them anymore. I just use this drilling method for everything, necklaces, keychains, you name it. I talked a little bit in my last video about my very big disappointment with the eye pins and how they've ruined so much of my work, and I am replacing them for free, of course, with the over 100 orders I sent out my first batch. So it's very disappointing. So if you can avoid this mistake and you're just starting out, then I would just recommend not using an eye pin. Just save yourself the hassle and probably stay away from them. Up to you, of course, but I just personally don't want to be involved in that anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the huge rant of my entire disappointment here because I've done that on YouTube already, but I'm just going to say that I don't use the eye pins anymore, and this is my new updated method. Also, one of my most frequently asked questions is, my resin still bendy when I take it out of the mold? I find it slightly bendy even after the 24 hours, like it's cured, but just a little bit bendy. So after 3 days, it should be fully hardened. So I just thought I would quickly jump in and say that as well because I get that question a lot. So yeah, all right, now let's get into materials. You're obviously going to need your silicone letter mold. I use reverse, but I don't think it matters too much. I get the bowls, cups, popsicle sticks, all that from the dollar store. You can use plastic or foam bowls and then plastic cups. I like the ones with the lines because I use it for measuring. Or you can upgrade eventually to silicone bowls and cups, and this one has measurements on it, which works great for me. I also get popsicle sticks from the dollar store. These are the flowers I use. They will be linked below. I buy them on Amazon, and soon I'm going to start drying my own flowers, so I'll keep you guys updated on that journey. This is my electric drill. I got it from Canadian Tire. You can get it at your local hardware store, or you can get a hand twist drill. I haven't personally used them, but I've heard they're pretty good. And then I just get really small drill bits for this drill. This is my heat gun I just upgraded to. I wanted the kind of different pieces on the front to see if it would help me with my ocean waves, but of course you don't have to splurge on this. I've also used heat guns like this since the beginning. They work great. They're a lot cheaper. They're around $20 on Amazon. You can also use a hairdryer in the meantime until you get one. And do not use a blowtorch because you will burn your mold, so stay away from any flames. Of course, you're going to need your keychain rings depending on what style you want. Scotch tape is optional to clean your molds, and you'll need garbage bags or something to tarp your area. This is the polish I use, which is a standard cloth. I don't always polish keychains as much. I use it for like coasters and some other things. But yeah, this is the sandpaper I use. I don't know the exact grit, but just get a light sandpaper, not super coarse. You're also going to need, of course, your resin and hardener. I use the brand Art Resin, and I've only worked with this, but I absolutely love it. And you'll need your jump rings. That is all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you found it really helpful. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like it and subscribe if you're new. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to me at MegDionArt on Instagram. That's where I'm pretty much the most active, and also in the Facebook group I will be active as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!